December development update 0.9.0 date locked. I mean, we already know that since Tuesday, but it's fine. Hello travelers, welcome to our development blog post for December 2022. Let's zoom in a bit here, right? Earlier this week, we made an exciting announcement for us Epoch. The date for our highly anticipated multiplayer release is locked in on March 9th, 2023. You'll be able to join forces with your fellow travelers in Terra when beta patch 0.9.0, but that's not all it will bring. This major content patch will also be coming with all sorts of performance, combat, gameplay feel improvements that you can enjoy with your friends. You may not even have to wait until March to get your hands on these changes. Yeah, if you're like a privileged streamer, a bigger streamer than me obviously, you will get invited here. Otherwise, I mean, I hope I can play here. Play here, February 2nd to 12th. Ideally, this is when I would stream last Epoch, but we'll see. Yeah, join us early during our upcoming multiplayer launch roadmap events detailed below. We've been hard at work on this next major update, and we continue to be excited about its release. Of course, we wanted to release it before the end of the year to make a nice Christmas event. However, as always, indeed, we continue to prioritize quality over speed. We want to make sure that 0.9.0 lands with the level of quality both you and we all expect from our major releases. With a fun and stable multiplayer, a complete online experience, and all the great improvements to gameplay and performance. We know it's a long time wait since the last major update, however we've dedicated to making sure this one sticks that landing we all strive for as fellow fans. Alright, quality over speed, copium. Yeah, I mean, hopefully that's gonna be actually how it's gonna be. What is that? Beta OpenAI Playground. Authentication required. Oh, that's the thing that you were talking about when it comes to like coding. OpenAI can code faster than them. Yeah, maybe we can just like make room down to that. Like imagine like making room down 2 with OpenAI API. Season 5 developed by OpenAI. That's a heavy dose of copium. Yeah, I mean it is indeed, it is indeed. I mean, if it's as good as your copy pasta, then it's pretty fucking trash. Right? But it might be actually good. In this blog post, we'll be covering some of the features coming in this next major update, as well as providing some developers' insight into the features, as we like to do. We'll also be covering some of the big features of multiplayer, further combat field improvements, skill updates, and more. All this info is only a scroll away. Upcoming events. The news many are coming to this post for. On Tuesday, we announced not only the date for 0.9.0, locked in as coming March 9th, but also that we would be hosting 3 pre-patch events. We want to cover some of the details regarding these events, what they are, how to get involved, and what's happening during and after these events. January 27th to 29th, multiplayer beta invitational weekend. From January 27th throughout 29th, we will be hosting a closed invitational beta weekend. This event will be limited to selected individuals, so I mean you can expect somebody like, I don't know, Zizaran or Steel Mage, or I mean other like big content creators to be streaming it on this date. I mean, ideally I would also get invited here, but let's be realistic, right? It's not gonna happen. Primarily HG team members, family, friends, community testers, and content creators. That means that invited members for this event will be also able to stream. I really hope, though, that they at least invite someone like... what's it called again? Lizard IRL. Here. Because... I don't know. I mean, I'm pretty sure they actually won't. But it would be so cool, right? Because somebody like Lizard and I don't know, maybe even like Boardman. I mean, I don't know, like Boardman. He's a big content creator as well, for sure, and like he did guides and so on. People have been throwing shade at him for, well, reasons which, some of which are, I guess, actually they are actual reasons. But I don't know, like Lizard, for example, like. Such a cool guy. Hello guys, Riker. Yeah, but instead of like Lizard being invited here, it's probably gonna be Riker, right? So yeah. That means that invited members for this event will be able to stream the content and discuss all the content they have access to. As we approach this event, we'll be posting a list of content creators who will be participating. Yeah, I mean. So make sure to stay tuned with your favorite streamer or content creator during this weekend event to get their take on the new 0.9.0 multiplayer experience. Maybe I should just like PM them, you know, like it's worth a shot maybe. I don't know. I mean, realistically they're gonna say no anyway, but I could still like try. February 2nd to 12th, multiplayer beta weekend. I mean, like developers have hung around my chat every now and then from EHG, so they know me. At least some of them at least know me, I guess. Like they know I exist. And they know I've like actually been like a small part of like them driving sales via like my Nexus page, for example, as well. But yeah. Either way, I mean, if not there, then hopefully I will able to like play this week. February 2nd to 12th, multiplayer beta week. Pack the server party, let's party. This event aims to test multiplayer beta on a larger scale. We'll be inviting 10,000 players to join us for a week of putting our servers to the test. Same as before, this event will be for players who already own a copy of the game and can stream the content and discuss what they are playing. That's a big one for us, so we want you to join us. We'll be sure to post a sign up for the Pack the server party in the future. Okay, I mean, here you just like sign up instantly, right, whenever they post that, or ideally maybe even earlier. How many of the 10k will show up? You don't think they're gonna get like 10k people playing this game? Boardman gets shit on for basically using something like GD Stash, like every fucking build maker in Grim Dawn does that. I mean, for creating guides or builds, I've legit like never used GD Stash. Just putting it out there. But yes, there are many like, especially like softcore builders that have used GD Stash to like speed up the process of like showing what an endgame build is capable of. Which, yeah, to a certain degree I can understand. To a certain other degree, I feel like, yes, they have played the character like the build in the endgame, but they haven't like properly like felt the progression, experienced the progression of the character to get to the point where it is. But that's also like mostly not the point of those like endgame build guides anyway, right? It's just like something to transition into, and for leveling there are other guides, so it's kind of fair. On the other hand, like Boardman though, as far as I know, he like rather focused on usually like you know, like rather guides for people who are newer to the game. So I don't know. If GD Stash is a thing already in LE, that game is so doomed. I mean, right now the game is, I would say, GD Stash wise in an even worse spot than Grim Dawn, because I mean, you can literally just like edit your characters with Notepad and like fake something like arena levels, because that, I mean, that's like the reason why like arena runs are, or like the arena ladder itself is kind of a meme in LE. Hopefully that will all be fixed like once all the stuff is like server side. But It makes the game shit, makes all items have 0 value. I think trading in Grim Dawn, like, unless you ban people for GG stashing, like we do in the league, items have no value, right? Like, items in Grim Dawn have basically only a value if you play in the league, because there you can be sure, like, none of the items are GG stashed, because people who are GG stashing are just, like, getting banned instantly. I mean, yeah, I think so too. Like, I mean, that's, I think, also, like, why this whole, like, multiplayer thing, like, putting all the stuff to servers is taking so long, because they have to basically, like, restructure their entire game, like, how it works, and, like, how save files work, and so on. Items have value if you make yourself some ground rules. I mean, yeah, you either just play on your own, and then the items have, like, a value for your own, like, for yourself only. I mean, that's what I did as well, like, at some point in Grim Dawn, like, when I realized, okay, other people are, like, cheating, I mean, okay, I was like, yeah, I'll only play with, like, people that I know don't cheat items, and everybody else I will just ignore, like, I will never play multiplayer or trade with them. So, or, like, I would maybe, like, trade items away for mats, but I would never, like, trade mats for items that I get from them. That way I made, like, sure that all the items I was using felt legit, or, like, were legit, and felt like they had an actual value. But yeah, it's still a psychological problem. Like, you will find people who go to Reddit, ask, can you still cheat items in Grim Dawn? And then, like, somebody just answers, yes, you can cheat items with the GD stash. And then that guy is like, yeah, okay, then I still see no reason, or, like, no reason to even ever play Grim Dawn, right? It just puts off people sometimes, and I can totally understand that. Like, some people just want there to be no cheaters, right, when it comes to items. Yeah. But that has already been a problem in Diablo 2, right? Anyway, after this event, right, we will have a February 23rd to 26th multiplayer beta weekend, where everybody can play. It's like open beta, sure. Even people that don't even have Last Epoch bought on Steam. Okay. Interesting. I mean, this is like, they're gonna crash and burn. Like, I don't think I'm gonna even, like, play here. Like, this makes probably no sense. I mean, I'll definitely, like, play here. With a lot of copium, I might already be able to play here, but probably not. Like, hopefully here. And then this is just gonna be, like, server issue, Fiesta, right? If you've been watching our ongoing development but haven't quite been ready to pull the trigger to picking up a copy, this will be your opportunity not only to get yourself into the world of Eterra, but also to get a feel for the upcoming major content release. Alright. Multiplayer updates. We are continuing to work towards our next major content release. We want to open up a bit more about how exactly the multiplayer experience will work. For today, a few topics we want to cover are how Monolith navigation, blessing rewards, and dungeons work in multiplayer. One of the most anticipated topics being asked about is trade, and we also have some news to share on that topic. Over the past few months, we have been implementing an item gifting system for our community testers, receiving feedback on it, and continued our internal discussion on the system. We will be releasing a deep dive blog post focused on trade in the near future. Soon to again. However, today we can confirm that yes, beta patch 0.9 will include a trade system that allows items to change hands within your party. Okay, so trade only within party, not via, like... Okay. Okay, but is it gonna be that, like, you can only trade items that you find while you are, like, that you can find... I mean, okay, does it mean that you can only trade items that you find while you are in the party? Or that you can trade any item once you are in a party? That's the difference, right? Because if you can trade any item as long as you are in that party, then it's just basically global trade market with like extra steps. If it's the former, then it makes playing in parties just objectively better, forcing a multiplayer meta? Question mark. Depending on how they handle like drop rates. They don't want global trade, pretty sure they already said that. Okay. Monolith navigation. I assume it's only trade in party if found in party. Yeah, but then you want to always play multiplayer, right? Unless you have the same drop chances. Like, yeah, like that's a multiplayer meta then. Because like two people finding items, you will have on average like a higher chance to find like an item for either your own or your partner's build, right? Have you ever seen Lucia using fireworks tornado? I have not. Actually, I've only seen it in other people's streams. I've never seen it myself, no. I don't know when or how she uses that skill, to be honest. They've said they don't want an economy, essentially. This is probably trade only in party when found in that party. Yeah, that's what I said, right? Like, that's like the case number one that I said, right? Like, it means that, like, items can only be traded that are, like, within the party if they're found while you are already in the party. It's like a 1 minute cooldown. Okay. Yeah, maybe. Okay, Monolith navigation. As the Monolith of Fates is our core endgame experience, our top priority for the multiplayer Monolith has been to make it feel awesome, not just to make it functional. We've been working very closely with our fantastic community testers, listening to feedback and adjusting the mechanics as we shape that endgame experience together. We are designing with intention to make sure the mechanics of the multiplayer Monolith don't make players feel like multiplayer is the only way to play. So we've kept a close eye on things like split farming strategies or multiplayer boosted rewards. Okay, I mean, I would have to like see what this actually means, like what the actual values are and so on. So this might be like counteracting a multiplayer meta that would be incentivized by this trade system up there, right? Split farm equals split fun, I don't know, maybe. At the very core of this design conversation is the question, how does a group actually interact with the monolith system? When grouped together, every player in the party can access any monolith which they have unlocked and interact with its web, the same as the single player experience. Upon selecting an echo, the echo is loaded and a portal is opened for all party members to join with the player which chose the echo. In normal single-player monolith experience, when a player dies during an echo disconnects, the echo is closed, the rewards are lost. However, this doesn't quite work in multiplayer for a couple of reasons. For one, other players are present in the echo, and we don't want to kick people out when another player dies. We also want people to be able to play together and not be stuck waiting in the end of time for the rest of the party to complete the echo before being able to rejoin. To address this, the portal remains open throughout the entire echo, and all party members can still port to each other, if a player falls to the enemies of Iterra, they can quickly and easily rejoin their party. However, beware. Dying during an echo or leaving during an echo will still cause any player who fell to miss out on the end of echo rewards for that echo. Yeah, this is just like making multiplayer, at least for softcore, the easy mode, right? This is like making multiplayer softcore easy AF mode. Which is fine if you want to like cater to a like broader audience, a broader, more casual audience. This is like a good step to do, right? Like, sure, this makes the game like the Monolith endgame experience very like casual friendly. That's fine. I wonder how like hardcore multiplayer or like something like that would work. Basically what a lot of people ask during Grim Dawn season. Yeah, like being able to play Boundless together in multiplayer, for example, right? Stuff like that. I mean, easy mode can also just be fun mode, right? Like, some people just don't wanna, like, they just want the fun mode. They don't wanna go, like, full 10-head, like, follow this guide or die. And that's fine, too. And I mean, when we talk about Grim Dawn season, right, we do allow that kind of playstyle as well. You just can't compete in the ladder, because, I mean, what's the point of competing if you're, like, playing easy mode anyway, right? Like, people who, like... Unless you wanna, like... I mean, you can, like, still min-max this process and still be competitive within this, like, quote-unquote, like, easy mode, right? That's basically, I guess, like, what PoE Trade League looks like softcore PoE Trade Leagues. Basically this, just, like... still like min-maxed. Okay, I mean, at least you get like some punishment here, right? If you die during an echo, you won't get the end of the echo rewards, at least. So, yeah. It's kind of like if you die in Shattered Realm in Grim Dawn, you get punished by like not getting all the chests. Stuff like that. I mean, it's fair. Alright, with our main two priorities in mind, fun and fair, there we go, we have implemented a unique solution for Monolith navigation and rewards. When we first implemented Monolith for our community testers, it was quickly found that providing the same node rewards to everybody created a very poor experience in which there was a clear optimal path of split farming. This strategy involved splitting up to individually farm out a monolith web until a number of exalted and unique nodes were unveiled, then group up just to complete those nodes to maximize the highest tier of rewards from the monolith. That kinda sounds like Diablo 3 bounties, where you split into, you know, like the actual dungeon, the actual rift, where you group up. Because it involves constantly splitting up and then reforming parties, it wasn't a very fun experience. Oh yeah, except they need to like actually disband the entire party because you can only like open up one portal, right? Whereas in D3 you could open up multiple portals within the same game, like within the same party, right? You had like have 4 or 5 people or something in the same party, and they do like the bounties, and then you just like group up and you don't have to like reform your party or like redo your game, and like apparently that doesn't work in Last Epoch. Like looks like at least with Monolith you can't have more than one portal, right? Like you only can open up one portal, and then the people can choose to either join that map or not, but you can't like go into different maps at the same time, which you could in Diablo 3. I mean, not in rifts, and I guess monoliths are kind of like rifts. I wonder if you... I mean, you probably can like go into different maps in the main campaign, right? I mean, that would be kind of terrible if you can't. I mean, you can even do that in Grim Dawn, right? We wanted the experience for multiplayer to be for groups to play together and stay together as long as they wanted. Yeah, I mean, that probably makes sense. Okay, so what's the solution? Not just any solution would do though. A big part of our Monolith experience when it comes to rewards is that of choice. We feel that it's important in Lost Epoch to empower players with the ability to choose, whether it's crafting, build selection, or the Monolith. Normally when navigating the Echo you will have the power of choice by selecting which Echo you want to do. which is often heavily affected by the rewards the echo offers. In multiplayer, if everyone's in the same echo, then only one player can have chosen the echo and its associated rewards. So by default, other players in this party would lose that sense of control over the items they're farming for. As such, we needed to find a solution that solved split farming issues while still offering the power of choice. After a few iterative changes, we have now a solution we are thrilled to share. Choose an echo reward. So like, you play the same echo, but each player can like choose a reward. Okay, let's see. When in a party, one player can pick a node on the monolith web, and for the person who picks which echo is being done, everything works as it currently does in single player. However, for the other players in the party, when the echo is completed, they will be presented with two options for rewards from the echo. These rewards options are the same options that are normally found in the echo web, like blah blah blah, and they're rolled using the same weighting as the echo that was completed. So you either get the... Wait, so you get like two random ones? Or is it like one that's always guaranteed, the one that the chooser chose, right? Like the guy who chose the echo chose, and the other one is being random, or like both being random? It's probably two random ones. Yo, easy work one. Yeah, but like, what if... I don't know if I like that. I think I would have liked it more if you could... You could still like... Okay, if party leader has some echo reward, right? And then the others know, okay, I want the echo reward as well, or I'll just take the other random one. Party leader gets fucked? Not necessarily. I mean, the party leader can like still choose the echo in the first place. I guess on hardcore, he would rather choose for modifiers and not really for rewards. But in softcore, you would always like choose for your optimal reward anyway, right? Alright. The corruption level of the echo and the distance from the center will weigh into the reward options. Makes sense. The result of this is that all group members will get the same average value of rewards, and for individual echoes may result in getting lower tier rewards, the same rewards, or better rewards than the party leader. Yeah, sure. So what role would you want? The party leader who gets to choose the specific rewards on the web, or the party member who gets to choose between two options, each echo with the potential for even better rewards than the party leader picked? Well, we're not speaking in verses now. Dungeons. Dungeons raise from fairly unique interactions when it comes to multiplayer, and with our desire for multiplayer groups to be able to stick together for the experience. Primarily starting a dungeon, dying during a dungeon, and dungeon rewards. Imagine dying though. Dungeons are designed as curated experiences. This means that dungeons are meant to be experienced from start to finish and don't work as well, dropping in part way through. We have implemented a few multiplayer specific interactions to ensure that groups are empowered to stay playing together. The first is that only one key is required for the entire party to enter the dungeon. Secondly, to ensure the experience remains intact for all party members and that no one is left behind, still making their way through the dungeon, we've implemented a ready check system for starting a dungeon boss. Okay. Upon attempting to enter the boss room, a ready check will appear for all party members. Once all party members have chosen to participate or not, all participating... Holy shit, I can't read. All participating members will be teleported into the boss room to begin their trial. So if you misclick and click on stay behind, you're fucked. I mean, don't misclick, right? That's fine. Dungeons are also designed to be a rewarding experience with unique reward mechanics, making them... Okay, but like what happens if somebody dies now? update. We'll get to that later. Dungeons are also designed to be a rewarding experience with unique reward mechanics, making them most often a highly rewarding activity. We want to preserve that experience for the entire party. Dude, is this like AI generated or what? For this, unlike monoliths, if you die in a dungeon, you will not be able to rejoin the continuing members, so make sure to stay on your toes in dungeons. All players will have access to the end of dungeon rewards. For example, in Temporal Sanctum, each party member will have the opportunity to create a legendary item with the altar. And in Soulfire Bastion have their own reserve of embers to gamble with. Of course, while multiplayer has been a significant focus for 0.9.0, that's not near the only thing coming. Our efforts to improve combat feel through improved visual and sound effects and animation continue, as well as changes to skill zones. Wait, what? Wait, what happens if people die? That's it for dungeons? Wait, what happens when... Okay. Okay, our desire for multiplayer groups to be able to stick together for the experience, right? So primarily, starting a dungeon, dying during a dungeon, and dungeon rewards. Okay, so if you do a boss, you have this. What happens if you die during a dungeon? Did they like talk about that? This means that dungeons are meant to be experienced from start to finish and don't work as well. Dropping in part way through. Dropping in part way through. What does that even mean? What is this English? Dropping in part way through. Dropping in part way through? Or dropping in part way through? What? Pepega, holy shit. It said you can't rejoin if you die. Where does it say that? This is just the Reddit check and nothing else. Oh, for this, unlike monoliths, if you die in a dungeon, you will not be able to rejoin the community members. How did I like... Dude, I read it, but like I didn't actually read it, I feel like. Okay. Okay, so it's like Grim Dawn. That makes sense for like roguelike dungeons. Okay, you die, you can't rejoin, but you will still get access to end of dungeon rewards. Wait, so you just like chill in some like death room until your party clears the boss and then you get ported to the reward room? You could end up being alone by the end of the dungeon if your party sucks. I mean, it's the same Grim Dawn, right? If you play Steps of Torment and your party sucks and they all die except you have to like do alchemist on your own, yeah. Yeah, that's actually the issue that I see here as well, right? If you die... Okay, say like you have a group of 4 people. One of them is strong enough to solo the dungeon. The other 3 join the dungeon or die instantly and then go and farm other shit, right? But still get the rewards. Yo, it's Pure Water, welcome on, man. Welcome, welcome. I mean, I feel like they say this, right? And then literally the next sentence and say all players will also have access to end of dungeon rewards. I mean, this being said, literally the next sentence to me feels like even if you die, you get them. But maybe they meant to like put a bigger break in here and this was rather meant to be like the introduction for the next sentences here. Final Isle makes the whole thing make sense. It's still unclear to me, to be honest. If you die, you don't get more embers, so you can't gamble as much. But you can still gamble. So you still get to the reward room. Like that's like what we're all about here, right? It's about like, I mean, sure, you get like less embers or whatever that you like get up until the loot room, but you actually, I mean, but this implies like you still get the loot from the loot room, which would imply that you can still gamble, just like not as much if you die, and get to the actual like loot room in the end. You get to the room, but you get less because you died. Okay, then the next question would be, the second you die, do you instantly get ported to the loot room, and you can just leave the dungeon while the rest of your team is still doing the dungeon? Or are you like locked in a like death room until your party has completed the dungeon, and then you get to the loot room, and then you can like gamble, and then you can leave? And if you log out while you're in the death room, you don't get to the end of the dungeon room, like reward room, right? Because, yeah, I mean, the issue would be, if you die instantly, and you instantly get to the loot room, you can just take the loot, gamble, whatever, and like continue farming, while like your entire other like party member is still like doing this stuff, right? Like doing the dungeon. And okay, while you get like less embers, do you also get like less generic rewards or more? I don't know. I mean, maybe only the embers matter. I actually don't know like what, like, why do you do these dungeons? Do you also do them for like loot farming, or is it like literally only for stuff like embers? I mean, we'll see. I don't know. It's a bit unclear though. Alright. Gameplay improvements. Let's move on. Of course, while multiplayer has been a significant focus on 0.9, it's not the only thing coming. Our efforts improve fatal combat feel through improved video effects, sound effects, and animation continue, as well as changes to skills, zones, items, enemies, and more. We want to share with you today a few of these improvements we've been making for the gameplay experience coming next patch. Alright, skill updates. Beta patch 0.9 is set to bring with it updates to many of our existing skills for effects, sound effects, as well as some balancing changes, and even some receiving completely new nodes and ways to build them. Today we're showcasing a few of these improvements coming to our March 9th update. Depends on the dungeon. The vault gives a loot explosion, but others are for gambling or creating legendaries. Okay. Okay, swipe is one of the many skills receiving new effects and updated functionality. Here we're showcasing of the new Spirit Wolves node, which will now cause Spirit Wolves to be emitted from your wolf companions instead of from you. So like that node is now tied to playing wolves as another skill, like forcing you to play wolves instead of not. Okay. Spirit Wolves will count as the wolf casting the spirit and thus scale with the wolf stats instead of yours. Sounds like better for hybrid. It's like a hybrid skill now. Or like it's a pet skill that requires you to attack to activate the pet skill. Each wolf companion will send out a spirit, and multiple spirit wolves can hit the same target to open up a whole new build style with wolves. A whole new build style, bad chest. I don't know if it's a whole new build style, but I mean it's like pet build and you attack to boost your pets. Didn't you already like do that with swipe or something else like that? How about you make Tomb of the Inquisitor longer? Are you getting lost already? I mean, just know the map. Alright, how does it actually look though? I mean, the swipe itself looks like literally the same to me. Why is it potato quality? Like, who recorded this? Okay, I mean, this literally like looks the same to me. I don't know, maybe I'm blind, but okay. She Rush and Rive. She Rush and Rive. Okay, this actually looks different. Are both very old skills and their effects show it. No longer come 0.9 with new these brand new video effect updates. We're bringing these highly popular skills to our modern standards. Okay, I mean, they look cool, sure. The same guy who recorded the Diablo 4 videos. Dude, that one Diablo 4 like environment showcase thing, like all the videos looked like, yeah, made by some intern, I don't know. You like the old Shield Rush? I mean, I did too, but I think new one, like, this looks honestly better. Like, it looks better. The big ass shield that popped up in front of you. That didn't happen by default though. That only happened if you had the additional like shield skills swirling around you. Right? Only then like the shields would like go in front of you. There was like a node, I think, like that. Like the normal Shield Rush looks like this, but like worse, right? It looks like this, but worse. Like there's no additional shield on the normal Shield Rush right now. I don't think so. The tomb is legit longer than 7 vanilla acts combined. Dude, you just don't know the map. Like, it's not even longer than the Korrak tomb. Korrak tomb is 2 levels. The entire act is shorter than Forgotten Gods. Like, actually way shorter. It's just like new content and you don't know where to go yet. That's why it like feels long for you right now. Okay, Harvest is a skill less commonly called out for needing a visual rework. However, after seeing the new version with the nice clean sweeps, the scythe extending from the weapon itself. Yeah, this looks like a League of Legends champion attack actually. This looks really nice. And the much more impactful swing, I think it's clear there was a lot of improvement to be made. And that improvement has been made to come with our next major update. Can we get this running away shit from Chase and Lucia? Dude, whenever there's like a Niger link and I'm on like browser on my stream, I legit can't click on the link. I have to like copy the link and like put it onto my browser on the second screen because I don't know what the fuck is linking. What do you mean, not know? I mean, you know now. You know now. Oh, you haven't done the boss yet? But I'm actually proud of you, like, you've like, thoroughly explored the place. I don't think you've... Did you miss anything? It's kind of hard to tell what you've missed up there, but... So far, I mean, you have found this. Ah, okay, you have still missed some things, actually. But I mean, who hasn't in that tomb? Let's be real, like, nobody like found all the secrets first try there. Alright, Reperform. Reperform is another skill which has needed a visual update, and we're happy to show off the new model coming for Reperform in our next major update. This new model will also be accompanied by entirely new scythe models, giving some much needed flair and quality to this core, identifying skill of the Lich. I mean, looks cool, sure. I mean, this kind of makes me like roll. If I had to like roll a new character in LE on the new patch, so far, I would play Harvest Lich. Like, I don't care how good or bad it is, I would just play Harvest Lich, right? I know pro like caster Liches are better, but I would just play Harvest and like Harvest Reaper Lich, right? New and updated enemies. Temple Guardian. The Temple Guardian stands watch over the entrance of Atera's temple throughout the ages. Right, who's that guy? Oh, that mob. Yeah, that boss looked like the oldest boss in the entire game, like from like when they made him visually. This mini-boss holds a very important position within the campaign, and we felt it's about time for this Guardian to get a visual update it deserves. Similar to Forge Guard's Manifest Armor, we thought we would play another game of the spot the difference and the turntable view of this new Stalwart Guardian. Guardian. I mean, yeah, this is a slight improvement over this. I don't want to swipe with Ghost Wolves. Nah, fuck pets, dude. Time to test Galacross with Field Rage. Monka. They fixed her hand. Like, proportions also like look good on these models, actually, not like some of the models they made in between at some point. Idol. Giant worm boss. Who? This big old worm was a little too wormy and not enough idle for the Voidy. Idol of the Voidy, so we're fixing that with a terrifying new model accompanied by an all-new sound effect kit as well. Is this in-game or is this like cinematic? Dude, no fucking way this is in-game, right? I mean, if it is, this is amazing compared to before. Like, before it just looked like... yeah, I don't know. Like a dick, basically. Void Despair. One of the new enemies emerging from the Void in 0.9. The Void Despair. No more Troll Despair, but Void Despair. It's quite agile given its size and has been known to approach from unexpected angles. Make sure to be careful when they're in the area, so you may provide them the opportunity to demonstrate their namesake. Dude, how does the environment like look so good in these videos here? I feel like in-game Last Epoch environment like sometimes just looks... I mean, sometimes it looks good, but like sometimes it also like just looks terrible. And here it looks amazing. Like if it looked like this all the time, sounds good. Void Fused Earth. We've shown off this little guy here before, but we felt this was just too awesome of a view of the new Void Earth enemy not to share it as well. Okay. If this is like actually like in-game, this is actually like amazing, but it might be just like pre-rendered in like some kind of... yeah, I don't know. Some kind of editor, and that's it. Reworked zones. Alongside skills and models, some of our zones are also starting to show their age. Yeah, definitely. While going through every zone in the game and improving performance, we've also improved the visual quality of these zones. One of our focuses for improvement, without adding a bunch of performance overhead back into zones, is improving lighting quality. And we would like to share a couple of shots from one of our earlier zones, the Last Refuge Outskirts. Alright. I mean, looks good to me. In other cases, these improvements to zones come in the form of more than lightning. We would like to show you an example of one of these zones with a new video from the Tomb of Morditas. Here the area has a brand new look, with Morditas being contained within some kind of prison. I wonder what that could be all about. Wait, who is this? Where is this? Where and who is Morditas? I believe something is wrong with Ali's rendering. You see their new model showcases and they look fucking incredible. And then you actually see them in game and they look like shit. Ali graphics make me think you have cataracts. Come on guys, it's not that bad, is it? I wanna see this one properly though. Wait, is this the one Snow Act? Who is this? Is that one NPC that like betrays you or something? Wait, is walking animation new as well? Dude, he's like a long jumper, holy shit. Look at those steps. Most important thing, Naja. Did you play the entire new act with in-game music on? Because if you didn't, time to replay it. There's still more we are working on that we've yet to reveal. So we hope you're as excited as we are to bring patch 0.9 to life in March. As a reminder, we've been revealing loads of new updates coming into patch 0.9 throughout our development cycle. So here's a refresher. Check out a couple of these previous development posts highlighting even more updates coming in patch 0.9. Yeah, okay. What was this June one actually? The road to 0.9 Copium. Oh yeah, this one was like no 0.8.6. Almost there. 0.9 will be a big one with a lot of content. Blah blah, and of course multiplayer. As we close in, we'll continue to provide updates on a weekly dev stream over at Twitch TV, Last Epoch Game. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like they could condense the freaking like information better than on like a weekly dev stream. Like, they could do it like bi-weekly and like actually give information. I feel like with the weekly dev stream, it's like there's like 2 minutes of information in those streams every like 4 streams. Other than that, it's like I mean just like the developer playing the game, which is cool too, but I don't know, it felt like kind of a waste of time at some point to like keep watching those streams. If you're interested in getting a taste of 0.9 before March 9th, make sure to keep an eye out on our news feed for Pack the Server party sign-up, as well as the other lead-up events. Alright, thank you to everyone as we work towards our biggest feature edition to date, introducing an entire new way to play with multiplayer, and we'll see you there in our next post. Blah, blah, blah. I mean, yeah, cool. There are some news at least. Sure. No, don't fucking dox my email now, please. Thank you. Don't log in then. I'll like it maybe next year. I mean, what was this here? Stay behind, proceed. So it's multiplayer. It just, they told us like how dungeons and monoliths are gonna work in multiplayer. I mean, they work in one of the ways you would expect them to work, to be honest. Dungeons work like from Dawn dungeons. Monoliths work like G3 rifts in a way. Yeah. And then this would be like stuff that they would have added in like a 0.8.6 patch as well, I feel like. Sure, I mean, information is there. We'll see. But yeah, no new acts, no new items, at least not so far. Just like some updates to skills. I mean, I don't see an update here really. That's like, I don't see it. I can see it here visually. But like, okay, having made like effects for Grim Dawn, right? And not being a professional animator at all, or like effect creator at all, I would imagine them having like better tools than I have, right? And I would imagine them having like better experience at like making effects. So something like this should take no longer than a day, right? Or like 2 days maybe. Like per skill. Like, or okay, maybe 3, I don't know, like. So what the hell are they doing? Okay, this one is like animation stuff as well, like. This one takes longer, definitely, because you have to like remake the animation as well. Here, the animation seems like it's still the fucking same, right? I think the animations are still literally the same. It's just like the effect around it is different. So this is like literally you do this in 1 day. Right? This is 1 day of work. This, I don't see a difference like effect-wise. It's only like they've changed the mechanic, which depending on how it's coded, can be either like a 1 hour thing or like a 3 day thing. But like always like for one person, right? And they're like what, 60 members now? And this one seems like more work, right? Like new animation. I mean, I don't know. I'm not good with Blender or any like modeling software at all. I don't know like how long animations take. I would assume they take a bit longer. But if you're like, you know, good at modeling and like good at making animations, then this might also be maybe like only like a 1 or 2 day thing. So these are, yeah, these are like, this is like eye candy, right? To like make people seem like, okay, wow, cool. This is an entirely new model. This always like takes longer, like a lot longer to create, right? Same here, like these models. I mean, if you're like a modeler, I don't know, you would be like, you would know how long these would take, more or less, right? I have no idea how to judge this, but I can only like assume it takes like at least like a week to make these, right? Maybe even longer. I don't know. Depends on like your experience and like depends on like how much you can copy paste and so on and so on, right? But yeah, alright, I mean, we've got information, it's cool.